We're here today talking with Youssef Hamouda about his book, In the Name of God, The Unveiling of the Truth Behind the Religions. Thank you so much for joining us, Youssef.
Thank you for having me.
Tell us a little bit about your book.
Well, my book was actually a research in the history and the religion because I wanted to prove that God is one. And for God to be one, there has to be a reason for all these religions that existed in the history of mankind since the times of the pharaohs to from Babylon to Byzantine to modern times. We have seen so many religions comes and go. And the question is, whom were they worshiping if it's not God? I mean, I look at the Old Testament. I learned a lot, by the way, from the Bible, as well as the Quran. I have a lot of stories in my book from the Bible where I match them with historic events to prove once and for all that God is one and He's behind every single religion that ever existed. So, what does it mean if we see that the ancient people worshipped statues? Well, the word worship is actually has a different meaning. To worship God is to obey God. It's not to kneel in front of Him. It's not about the rituals. These are for us. We create the rituals. We create the beliefs. But God has a message for us, for all of humanity, a message of peace. He's been trying to teach them to humans since the beginning. When we go back in history, we know for a fact that humans were less intelligent than us today, by far. So he talked to them according to their mentality. They couldn't believe there's one God they cannot see and they don't talk to. They had to have things in front of them. So he gave it to them. He doesn't care about that. What he cares about is that we follow his instructions, his path, the path of goodness, good against evil. Let's stay away from evil and follow the good. And by this occasion, by the way, it just so happened today that what's happening in Israel is so sad. I wrote in my book that Hamas is a terrorist organization. Mm-hmm. It terrorizes their own people, not just their neighbors. And once and for all, let's stop using religions as an excuse to kill innocent people. God is not for that. And this is why they will always remain a nothing. They are a source of evil. But once this is finished, there has to be peace in the Middle East, once and for all. So I explain in my book that religion is for us. It's not for God. Everybody thinks that religion is for God. And this is why they think their own faith and religion is the only one that's good. Because God chose it. But the fact is, He assigned religions to people who are different than others. We are equal, but we are different. What motivates me, where I come from, is not necessarily what motivates you. So we cannot have the same religion, because the religion is a path to goodness. People twist it. People make things out of it and make wars under the name of God. So it has to end. People have to understand we all worship God, the same God, and it's not about our beliefs, it's about the good things we do in our life. It doesn't matter whom you believe. What matters is what you do with that belief.
That's a very, very interesting topic and very relevant, as you said, for what's going on in Israel currently at this time as we're recording this. You know, I was thinking you were talking about research. What was the process like, and where was your original inspiration? Where did that come from? And then how long of a process and what was the process like? You talked about researching and all of that. So kind of talk us through that.
Okay, I'm born from a Christian mother and a Muslim father. I have siblings from both sides, relatives from both sides. I always wonder which one is correct, why there is difference. And I started thinking about it for years. And for years, I think everything in my life made me ready to write this book. When I was a young kid, I was addicted to Agatha Christie, Sherlock Holmes, all detective stories that got me interested in reading. And I read a lot in a lot of subjects, but what's the most interesting was the detective stories, which allows me to think in a certain way and follow clues while I'm studying. Now, in 2007, I started watching documentary on history channels. There was a couple of channels, and I found myself addicted. And in 2008, this is where I got, I would call it revelation, understanding of what this is really about. And I watched documentaries about 2-3 hours daily, repeat and repeat. I repeat the same thing for 6 years. So that's thousands of hours. Until when I wrote my book, I just came on the 2nd of October of 2013. My wife sat down, Elizabeth, which I have to thank her because she really did a lot for me. She sat down and I started dictating the book, all from the memory, word for word. It took us 61 days.
Wow.
Finished 3rd of December 2013. I also want to have this opportunity to thank the Christian Faith publisher for giving me this opportunity. It was really nice of them, and I'm glad they took my book.
Well, thank you for taking time to be with us today. Before I close, is there anything else you want to share with us about your book or about yourself?
I mean, the book is easy to read. It's a lot of stories. If you like stories from the Bible, from the history, that I mix them together and connect the dots, you will love the book because it's interesting, and the stories you might have heard about, but it's written in a different way. It's connected to other stories that makes a new picture. You will see a completely new picture once you finish the book, hopefully.
Do you have a copy of the book you can show us there?
Yes, you see here, this is the book, In the Name of God, The Unveiling of the Truth Behind the Religion. Now, this here, if you look, there's a fish.
You might hold it up a little bit for us. Yeah. There we go.
Here, there's like a fish. Just this eye is a fish without this. The fish represents Christianity.
Okay.
Then if you add the eyebrow and remove the pupil, this eye represents the eye of Horus, Isis religion the pharaohs had. The pupil here is Buddhism, the symbol for Buddhism.
Okay.
This is the symbol for Hinduism. This is the symbol of Islam, the crescent, the symbol of Judaism. Okay, so a symbol of 6 religions in this drawing, and I just duplicated it.
It's a lot of thought into the cover of the book. I love how you worked it into the artwork.
And this here, the one who did the cover is actually my son-in-law. When he wrote it, when he did it, he said it stopped. He couldn't move it. So this was created, and this is inside the book. He didn't know that. This circle here, it's mentioned in the book in a scientific way, and he had no idea that it's written in the book.
Well, that's great. Thank you so much for joining us. You can grab a copy of the book. It's In the Name of God, The Unveiling of the Truth Behind the Religions. You can get it online through Amazon, through Barnes & Noble. It's available as an ebook even. If you like to read on a Kindle or on a device, you can grab that as well. Thank you so much, Youssef, for joining us.
Thank you. I thank you very much, Scott.
Have a great day.
The very same to you.